That was an abomination to the sport of basketball. We got to talk about this game. This was an abomination to basketball. Shout out Kelsey Mitchell for 20. I didn't know she had 20. Shout out to AJ Wilson for a solid 4-point performance. That's exactly what we needed. Exactly what we needed from you. We needed those 4 points.
What do you get when you mix missed layups, WWE-level fouls, and fans wondering if they bought tickets to a prank show, the WNBA All-Star Game? Stick around because this mess was so wild, even the mascots looked embarrassed. Spoiler, Caitlin Clark's decency was the most controversial thing on the court.
Content, man, I am so glad All-Star Weekend is over with. That disaster of a game yesterday, I'm so disgusted. We went from last season where it was the All-Stars versus the Olympians, very competitive game. Cheryl Miller's coaching the teams, wanted to win. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and them, they had a point to prove. And they won last season in a very good All-Star game. What we seen yesterday was a disaster. It was a mockery of an All-Star game. Nobody played no defense. A bunch of 3 and 4 pointers getting jacked up. It was terrible, man. Not entertaining or nothing. I personally feel like the players cared more about wearing them stupid ass shirts than they did on actually putting together a good basketball game. Pay us what you owe us? Are these ladies delusional? Y'all haven't made money in the existence of the WNBA.
The arena lights blazed. The music thumped like a high school DJ trying to mask awkward silences, and the WNBA All-Star Game was officially underway. At least that's what they called it. Because what unfolded on that court wasn't exactly basketball. It was more like a chaotic reunion of players who showed up thinking it was a TikTok dance battle, a flag football scrimmage, and a celebrity softball game, all rolled into one confused, gloriously mismanaged spectacle.
This was an abomination to the sport of basketball. MVP is clearly. Angel got a great reaction from Indiana. I know, but it was ominous. Those cheers actually weren't cheers. Those cheers weren't cheers. They were actually slurs. Those cheers were actually slurs. Start the other investigation. But it is. I literally just don't know what way I can describe that. Like, who's gonna win the MVP? I don't actually care. Like, Caitlin Clark's there, and they were like, "Oh, would you do anything for defense?" She goes, "No."
Let's be honest. If you tuned in hoping for dazzling dunks, crisp passes, and actual defense, bless your soul. What you got instead was a free-for-all of missed layups, sloppy turnovers, and defense so non-existent it could have filed for unemployment. And the fans? Oh, the fans were not amused. They came expecting a showcase of the league's finest. What they got looked more like a live-action blooper reel with professional jerseys slapped on. But hey, at least there were vibes. Yes, vibes, that magic word people use when there's no actual substance to talk about. The players were laughing, the bench was dancing, and the referees looked like they were just happy to be there. One might have been texting during the third quarter. Who knows? It wouldn't have made a difference.
Coming last season, that's not because of y'all. We just have to be honest. Yes, some of y'all have fans. We get the money is here because of Caitlin Clark. It's obvious because every time she gets hurt, everything gets slashed by 50%. Hell, the All-Star tickets got slashed by 50%. You would think that after you seen the All-Star tickets drop 50%, these players would have took it serious. Like, hold up, bro. We can ball. It's not just Clark. We can play ball, and y'all drop the ball again. This is all y'all are good for at this point. It's dropping the ball over and over and over and over again. You got to listen to Thomas over here dissing the Indiana fans and Indiana at All-Star game. Like, what are we talking about? This is crazy. And they're all just waiting to get paid more money. What about the people where the money's coming out of their pocket? What about them? Shouldn't they get some of this money that they've been losing all this time? Y'all look crazy, man. I'm gonna keep it real, man. Lock this shit down, man. Go on strike.
And just in case anyone was still clinging to the hope of a competitive game, the third quarter came swinging in like a feather, light, aimless, and barely noticeable. Defense, still missing. Offense optional. It was like watching two squads of professional athletes collectively agree to pretend they'd never played the sport before. The scoreboard lit up like a slot machine, but no one was hitting the jackpot, except maybe the concession stand vendors, because let's face it, nachos were the real winners that night.
And hey, we're what, a week away from WNBA All-Stars?
WNBA All-Stars?
I believe they're picking the team tonight, but they're probably not going to tell anybody until tomorrow because that's how they roll.
I wanted that to be live.
Yeah, I did too. But you know, before we get out of here, I just have a question on that note. So there is another league for the women that runs.
Dan, you was talking to me. You was in me and D-Dub's conversation today. Go ahead.
That starts like November or so, and it's 3-on-3, and the co-founders of the league are the president and the vice president of the Players Association of the WNBA. So my question is, how is that not a conflict?
Now, if you're wondering where Caitlin Clark was in all of this, the answer is simple: anywhere but on that court. A groin injury kept her out of the chaos, which in hindsight might have been the biggest blessing of her rookie year. Because had she been there, had she participated in that circus of a game, you already know the takes would have been nuclear. If she scored too much, she'd be selfish. If she passed too much, she'd be scared. If she breathed, she'd be disrespecting the game.
Are y'all serious? Y'all cannot be serious, man. What a trash game. That was a trash-ass WNBA All-Star game, man. Shout out to all the fans that was out there in Indianapolis, man, that had a great time for All-Star Weekend, man. But we got to talk about this game, bro. This game was straight trash. Garbage, basura, dumpster juice, dump truck juice. Bro, like, what was this? Bro, like, I feel like I just completely wasted like 2.5 hours of my life with this game, bro. This was worse. This is worse than the NBA All-Star games, bro. Let's keep it real. Hold on. Nah. We're not doing that. We got to keep it real. This was worse than a lot of NBA All-Star games. It was a layup line to the basket. We got everybody just launching up 4-pointers. Bro, this game was garbage. This game was garbage. Y'all sure y'all supposed to get more money, man? Are y'all sure y'all supposed to get more money, bro? Like, nah, that's bad.
Let's pause to reflect on the irony. The WNBA spent months building up a narrative. The league was finally getting attention. Stars were rising. Tensions were boiling. Ticket sales saw a small bump. And then came this All-Star game, a chance to seal the deal, to convert casuals into fans, to show off the best of the best. But instead of delivering high-octane, elite-level play, the league served a dish best described as lukewarm confusion with a side of second-hand embarrassment. The lack of competitiveness wasn't just noticeable, it was blaring, like an air horn going off in a meditation retreat. And the cherry on top? The fouls. Oh, the fouls. We're not talking strategic fouls, we're talking body checks that belong in hockey. The All-Star Weekend wasn't supposed to be a full-contact crime scene, but here we are. And the fan reaction, hoo boy.
Nah, that's bad product. And that's what I've been saying. I've been telling y'all this. Y'all want more of this, more of that. Bro, the product is not that good. I just got to keep it real. The product is not that good. Nafisa Collier, you balled. I don't think you missed the shot. Bro, the game was trash, though. It was no effort. Nobody tried. Y'all look like y'all was just waiting on the next party. It looked like y'all just waiting on the next party. Let's get on the Stud Bud stream. Let's get on the Stud Bud stream. That's going to be way more exciting than this basketball game. Come on, man. Come on. In the middle of negotiations, y'all put out this horrible product. You know people are going to be bombing on y'all on social media talking about how boring it was. This was trash. This was a horrible game, and I'm not trying to come crazy with y'all, but this is bad product.
If the WNBA wants to be taken seriously, and it should, it has to stop self-sabotaging. You don't grow a league by throwing a party where the cake is stale, the decorations are crooked, and the guest of honor is missing. Caitlin Clark didn't skip this game for laughs. She was injured, but her absence exposed just how thin the league's entertainment thread really is when she's not there to carry the narrative. So where does the WNBA go from here? Maybe start with accountability, not from the players who actually tried, but from the decision makers who thought this spectacle would be enough. Raise the stakes, introduce incentives, or, wild idea, make the game actually matter.
On officiating, we hear the concerns, we take that input, every play is reviewed, spend hours and hours and hours. Obviously, we use that then to follow up with officials, training. Consistency is important, I think. I think some people who observe our game versus other basketball formats are that there aren't a ton of fouls called, but I realize consistency is the name of the game. So I think it's something we definitely look at and evaluate, and there's an independent evaluation of our officials. There are ramifications. It's something we need to continue to work on. And as our game has evolved, so does our officiating.
Because if the All-Star Game continues to be a glorified jogathon with the occasional elbow to the chin, it's going to be a lot harder to justify the hype. Next year, maybe don't center your entire marketing campaign on buzzwords and hashtags. Maybe focus on building actual competition, because right now, the fans aren't laughing with you. They're laughing at you. And when the most talked about moment is the lack of Caitlin Clark, you've got a long road ahead. So congratulations, WNBA. You managed to host an all-star game that somehow turned being forgettable into an art form. Just pray Caitlin's groin heals fast, because next time, you're gonna need a miracle and a marketing department armed with more than glitter and denial.